Hey y'all, happy Thursday, happy Thirst for Knowledge Thursday. Y'all like my little badge, buddy? It says, I'm down with PPE, yeah, you know me, okay. So y'all, gonna give you a little update of my first week on the floor. Oh, also I got braids, cause I was like, last thing I want to think about is my hair during my first official week on the floor. So my cousin hooked me up with some braids. But yeah, I'm not gonna show you guys. I'm gonna tell you guys about my first week on the floor. So basically my first week on the floor started on Monday, and it was a 12-hour shift. So basically, I feel like I've said this many times before, but each week 2 12s, 2 12s and 2 8-hour shifts to give us a total of 40 hours a week. And so yeah, Monday I met my preceptor. She was super nice, super cool. And yeah, basically on that floor you get a max 4 patients. So when I tell you we got all of the patients that were like high acuity is the word. So patients that, you gotta watch every second because you don't know what's gonna happen, what they're gonna do, what they're gonna say, and I'm not gonna lie, it was a lot for me. It was a lot. Like, I was just going up and down. Originally, the manager, she came to see me and she was telling my preceptor, today's her first day, let's just have her shadow. But then at the same time, after I was watching my preceptor and she was really going through it, because she said it's usually not that bad, it's just one of the extreme days. And so I saw her struggling, so I jumped in to help, if it was to check restraints, or I think give some oral meds, I help with that, or flush IV, stuff like that. And so, by the end of the 12-hour shift, y'all, I'm gonna keep it 100% real, because, that's what I like to do on my channel. Some people like to sugarcoat and be like, it was great, oh my goodness, oh, it's just a little difficult. But for me, I was just like, yo, this is why I didn't want bedside. It, confirmed in my heart why I didn't want bedside. And, I'm not gonna lie, I cried. I know everyone has that story of in nursing and just feeling so overwhelmed that they cried, and for me that was it, and I wasn't even on my own, you know what I'm saying? But I was just yo, and even going in and hearing a report and they're just next patient, I'm just oh my goodness, what did they just say? I don't know how to read these strips, because I'm on a tele floor. So there's ECG strips, and you have to know how to read them and know what's tracing this and what that, and how many beats of VTAC, and I'm just I was so overwhelmed. I was just yo, what is this? What did I sign myself up for? Literally, that's how I was feeling on Monday. And I came home and I was just knocked out, y'all. Well, not straight knocked out, I came home, took a shower, all that stuff, ate, but I was just oh my gosh, and I have to do it again tomorrow. That's the worst feeling. If you guys, whoever works in bedside, especially in the hospital, if you're able to do 3 12s back to back to back, kudos to you, because I'm looking I know every other day it sucks too. I'm yo, I could probably do 2 and then take a break and then, do another day, but I can't do 3 straight 12s. That ain't it. So yeah, so I was really sad, because I'm just yo, I can't picture myself doing this. So yesterday was Tuesday, came in for my next 12, same preceptor. And I was just okay. So it was the same patients, minus 1, we got a new admit. So I was okay. The vibes seemed to be chill until after lunchtime, and that's when the patients started picking up again. I'm just like, oh my goodness. It wasn't as intense as the first day, I'm not gonna lie, but at the same time, I was like once again overwhelmed. Like, there was a rapid that almost got called on one of the patients, and like I remember the doctor came in and was just like blurting out orders, and I was looking around like, oh, she talking to me, I'm the nurse, right? Because my preceptor had stepped out for like 2 seconds, and the 2 seconds she stepped out, that's when the doctor decided to give orders. And I'm like verbal orders, and I'm like, and I'm like, I just felt like I didn't know what to do. Also, there was a RRT called RRT, if you don't know, is Rapid Response Team. Yeah, and I remember I ran because, like, I saw the other nurses running towards the room, so I'm like, yeah, I'm running, because my preceptor was like, oh, it'd be good to go check it out. And like, everyone was like hands in and doing this and checking this and what's this and grabbing this and grabbing that. And like, they started saying, you grab this, you grab that, and I'm like, wait, I don't even know where anything is. Like, I kind of felt useless, I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, I felt like I couldn't help because I don't know what to do. I don't know where to grab anything. It was just a lot for like my first day. Second day wasn't too bad, but I was just like, still had the feeling of, I mean, they told me, I'm not gonna lie, they told me during like my interview that it was a very fast-paced floor, but I feel like, some people just say that, like, oh, our floor is very fast-paced, but nah, they weren't lying. And for me, like, I personally don't like fast-paced. I know some people like fast-paced, that's why they go to the ED and they go to different areas, but for me and my temperament and my personality, I cannot do fast-paced because I won't even process what's going on. And that's what I've been noticing these past, like, I know it's my first day, so of course I really don't know what's going on, but even yesterday, like, when I was starting to kind of understand stuff, like, once things started picking up again, I was like, wait, what? Oh my gosh, wait, what? Oh my gosh. Like, even like, I was telling the nurse, like, she was like, oh, do you want to give this IV, blah, 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 like, give the med through the IV, hang it up yourself, all that. I'm like, yeah, cool. And like, I went in the room, I'm like, what am I doing? Actually, I need your help. Like, like, I can't process things if it's moving too fast. And so fast-paced environments aren't for me. And like, now I'm like, what do I do? Because I'm in a fast-paced floor and that's all it's gonna be. Like, even on the non-fast days, from what I've experienced so far, it's still fast for me. So I'm kind of like, ugh. Like, I don't know. I mean, it's just the first week, so we'll see. I don't even want to see, like, we'll see, because I already know, like, this isn't what I initially wanted. If you guys have been watching from my, like, interview journey, I wanted, like, a peds floor or OB. Like, that's what I wanted, but they said only telemetry was left. And that's what they had told another nurse, so, like, another resident, I had spoken to her today, and she was like, yeah, same thing they said. So I'm like, okay, like, it's not just because there was a comment before of like, oh, it could have been because, like, how you look, that's why they said there's none in maternity, because, but another nurse that didn't look like me had the same experience, like, had the same explanation. So, but yeah, so every Thursday we have Thirst for Knowledge Thursdays. That's basically when we meet up with all the residents and just kind of like talk through what happened. Usually you shadow half of the day in a different department. So like, it could be in IR, it could be in the clinic, it could be somewhere. You shadow half the day, and then the other half of the day you do reflections where everyone just talks about their day. So that's what we did today. So that was pretty chill. We got free pizza, okay. So I wasn't mad at that. Like, it was just a nice calm from the storm of the week. And I kind of felt bad, like, doing reflections, like, I kind of was just like, oh yeah, it was overwhelming, but it was good, like, but like, compared to everyone else, everyone's just like, yeah, I did this and it was so cool, and oh my gosh. And like, the other residents on my floor, I know they say don't compare yourself, but like, they seem like, oh yeah, this is great, I love this pace, I love this floor, I love, and I'm sitting there like, really? Because I didn't. Not that I don't love I didn't love the floor, because it's not where I want to be. And I did tell the managers when they interviewed me, when they're like, what made you pick tele? I specifically said, I originally wanted pediatrics or maternity, but they said it wasn't available. Like, I kept it straight up with them, and I'm like, and they said tele was the only thing available, so I figured. So they already know, like, you know, I'm not like, oh yeah, tele is my heart. Like, you know, literally, oh snap, get that pun? Tele is my heart. Okay. But yeah, I mean, we'll see how it goes. The thing that I'm just thinking now is, like, they said, I mean, when I interviewed, my first interview out of the 3, I remember asking, like, okay, if anything opens up on another floor, would I be able to switch? And they were like, we'd really like for you to wait the full year. And I'm like, I like, now thinking back on that, I'm like, what if I don't want to work there, like, for a year? And just to clarify, I don't want to leave this hospital because it's a really good hospital. Everything about this hospital is great. Like, so far that I've seen is great. But the floor that I'm on, if I could be on another floor that's slower paced, I would rather that. So before anyone's like, oh, you know, you're leaving the hospital, that's me, you know, it's a lot of experience, blah, blah, blah. I ain't saying that I'm trying to leave this hospital. I'm just trying to leave the floor to go somewhere, to another floor. Okay. So I'm gonna see how it goes. Hopefully next week is better. Not even next week. So tomorrow I have off. Every week we have a day off, and the work week is Monday to Saturday. I mean, Sunday to Saturday. So for this week, obviously I was off Sunday, I was off Monday, worked, off on Friday, work on Saturday. So Saturday is going to be my 8-hour shift, so I'll be happy about that, because there's nothing like getting past 3 o'clock and then knowing that you still have to stay for another like 4 hours, and not even 4, like 4.5 hours, because it's never truly a 12-hour shift. You stay longer than that because you have to give report. So usually it's like 7 to 7:30, 7 to 7:45. So that's it. I don't think I'll give an update on Saturday unless something extraordinary happens. I'll be with a different preceptor just because my regular preceptor's off. And they gave me my main schedule for the next couple weeks. At first I only had the first 3 weeks, and it gave me like 3 different preceptors, whereas this one is only like 2. But the one that I had this week, like Monday and Tuesday, she's my main one, which I'm like, great, because she's really nice. I feel like we kind of vibe, and like, you know, she does go super fast sometimes, but you know, other than that, we get each other, I feel. So yeah, that is my review of the week. Pray that it gets better. Pray that I feel a little bit more confident as the weeks go by. You know, and pray that there's some type of opening on a different floor. Because, yeah, like, it's like going to a foreign country without any experience in their culture. That's the best way I could describe it. You don't know their language. You know about their food. You don't know about, like, how to travel there. Like, you know, you don't know anything. That's the best way I could describe it. So, but yeah, this is why I document these things. Well, not document, but take videos. Because, you know, I like to look back and see how far I've come. So let's see if anything changes in the next few weeks. Hey y'all, happy Thursday. Happy Thirst for Knowledge Thursday. So I want to give you guys an update of, you know, do I have someone on my okay. An update of this week. It's officially week 3 in total of me working at the hospital, but week 2 of actually being on the telemetry floor. So yeah, let's get into it. Okay, y'all, so I think I'm gonna cut to the chase. Y'all remember how I said that, like, you know, I didn't like bedside nursing? That feeling hasn't gone away. Instead, it's grown even more since starting on the floor. And I don't know what to do. Like, honestly, I'm just like, oh, like, it's not fun for me, like and not that work is supposed to be fun, but in general, like, it's just like it's I'm miserable, honestly. Yeah, on top of that, the 12 hours, like, I'm like, I would gladly take 5 days of an 8-hour shift over like 3 days of a 12-hour. And even though we've only had 2 12s in a row so far, like, how I feel after the second 12, like, I feel so beat up and drained that I'm like, yo, I'd rather just do an 8-hour shift 5 days a week, as long as I know that, like, you know, I won't have to be on the floor for another, like, but the hospital obviously only does 12 hours, so yeah. So, you know, in regards to the telemetry floor, it is fast-paced. I don't know if I've said this in any of my other videos. I'm kind of behind on uploading, so I don't remember what I said in the last one versus, you know, the previous two. I'm trying to keep up with, like, posting. I've just been super busy, super tired, so, you know, it's not fun. Like, and, you know, I don't know, like, it's just not ideal for me, I would say, like, you know. So I'm trying to figure out what to do, if it's just like I need to go on a different floor or to a different just like type of facility, like not a hospital, but like maybe long-term care, like, you know, rehab or like something. I don't know. I'm still in the process of figuring out like exactly what it is I want. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, I've been seeing stuff, but it's just like nothing's really sticking, like, you know. And I feel like it's not sticking because I have no interest in it. Like, you know, if you're interested in something, you could be like, oh yeah, this goes with that because of da-da-da-da, like da-da-da-da. But like when you have no interest, you're just like, what? Oh, what do I do now? Oh yeah, okay. I do this next, right? Like, you know, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's really my update. I mean, today I got to shadow. If you don't know, on Thursdays we do like a shadowing experience on a different, like, with a different department, and then the rest of the day we get like a presentation, and then we talk about our experience of the week. So today I got to shadow like the speech pathologist, and she was even joking like, oh, maybe, you know, seeing this will, you know, make you want to become a speech pathologist. And I'm like, girl, at this point I'm trying to figure out what it is I want out of a career. Like, you know. But yeah, it was like, it was interesting, I would say. And then after had lunch, we had a presentation from this lady that does like patient relations and stuff. But I was just out of it. I was tired, so I didn't really hear much of what she was saying. I was too busy yawning. And then we talked about, like, you know, our week. I don't know if I told you guys, but I put in an IV this past Saturday. So it's my first time putting in an IV. I didn't get it on my first try, I'm not gonna lie. I put it I put it in on my second try, like, finally got it in. I'm like, nah, this vein, I am getting you. You're not going anywhere. I get boom, okay? Yeah, so, you know, I did that, but it's just like, I feel like things aren't clicking in my head when it comes to, like, you know, like charting, that's fine. Like, you know, I could do the assessments, I could do the charting, that's fine. But like when it comes to that floor is so fast paced where it's like, I don't have time to process what I'm doing or what I just did or what I have to do. And like, you know, like, it's just like, oh, now we gotta do this. Oh, okay, let's do this. Oh, now we gotta do this. And I'm just like, yo, like, I need time to think. Like, I don't like that feeling, especially as a nurse when we have our license on the line and someone's life on the line. Like, I don't like feeling like that. I feel like that's the main issue I've been having so far. So, you know, but I've got to see a lot of stuff. Some of the stuff, like, I've done in nursing school, like, you know, putting like meds and IVs and like injections and stuff. But you know, it's just not clicking. Trying to learn the pump system, and you know, lab is calling and they want this with that and this and that and da 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 da, and everyone's speaking in like, you know, the abbreviated stuff, and I'm just like trying to process what they want me to order, and then try to process what the abbreviation means again, like, you know. And then like I had to contact a doctor for something that I assessed that like from the previous day that I thought got worse, and then the doctor was like it was no big deal, and I was like, dang, like but my preceptor showed me how to chart that, you know, MD contacted, MD came to the patient's bedside and assessed, MD said that da da da, like I learned how to chart that. But it's just, I just feel like in general things aren't clicking for me on that floor, especially compared to the other, comparison is the thief of joy, I know, but compared to the other like nurse residents, there's 4 of us on the telemetry unit. Like it seems like with them things are clicking, oh it's no big deal, and oh yeah I did this and oh I did that, and I'm still like baby steps, you know. So I think that's my update. I'm just trying to figure out my next steps and what I want to do. I would say that in regards to like if it's possible if I could change floors. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing absolutely wrong with like my preceptors or like any of the nurses on the floor. Everyone has been super nice to me. The different preceptors I've had, the managers, everyone on the floor has been nice. So it's nothing on them. Like I asked questions and they explain to me. It's just like it doesn't stick. Like even if I understand it 1 second, the next second like I come back and I'm like, oh my gosh, what is it again? Like, you know, like it's just nothing sticking, and it moves too fast for things not to stick. You know what I mean? So yeah, so like I said, I'm trying to figure out what to do in regards to like if it's the floor that I need to change, if it's like, you know, just me not working in a hospital, which, you know, I'm completely fine with. Like honestly, if you guys have been watching me for God knows when, you know that hospitals, it wasn't really, you know, a big thing for me. Like, oh yeah, right after I get my BSN I'm going to a hospital. Like, you know, I wanted like a clinic or something like that, but I let people get to me as usual, like, oh, go to the hospital, blah blah blah. And I was like, okay, I'll try residency, at least it'll be slower paced, but not knowing that it's still the same. Like, you know, still have the same feeling that I had and that I knew I would have. So it is what it is. Yeah guys, so that's my update for the week. For tomorrow, basically I'm just going to have an 8-hour day. I would call it 7.5 hours just because for the last 30 minutes or so I have a meeting with the manager on the unit and my preceptor. Basically like every 2 weeks we have a meeting just to describe my progress, any goals, any concerns that I may have. I don't even know when to bring up how I've been feeling or who to bring it up to. I gotta see y'all, but excuse me, that is my update. I'm about to go home. I need to sleep. I'm tired. All right guys, peace.